be shy. Subscribe to that guy.
I combined these two classes together because the class of 2015 basically doesn't exist. Jack disappears, and you'll find out what happened to Cam.
Smoking on top fives. Stop playing, I'm that guy.
Jonah is in a band and Becky auditions. She's currently dating Drew, but not for much longer. Drew is jealous because her and Jonah have been practicing a lot together.
I mean, listen, we talking about practice.
Drew and Becky break up a few episodes later, and then she's kissing Jonah right in front of Drew out of spite. Becky and Jonah date momentarily, but then Jonah steals from her and they break up. Bye, Becky. Most of Jonah's plot in next class revolves around his relationship with Frankie, which I'll save for Frankie's story. Jonah and Frankie break up, and then Jonah has a really nice friendship/relationship with Grace. But yeah, when Frankie hears that Jonah and Grace are dating, she doesn't take the news very well.
What is your problem?
It used to be you!
When her and Imogen first meet, they click and have some chemistry. When they start dating, it was kinda interesting because so far Imogen has been chasing Eli's crazy ass and had a nice but anticlimactic relationship with Fiona, so you could only go up from here, right?
No!
Imogen is pretty passionate, so early on she's like,
And I love you.
and Jack kinda ignores her.
Wow, thanks.
Then she says she wants to be in a poly relationship, meaning multiple people involved. Imogen's like, okay. But then she's like, nah. So Jack tells her she doesn't really want to be in a poly relationship. She's just kind of scared to say I love you back.
Well, which is it?
Right after that, she starts sending nudes, a part of the Degrassi nudes. We'll get to that later. And she doesn't tell Imogen about her involvement in Degrassi nudes. Lastly, she doesn't tell her parents that she's gay. Her and Imogen argue, break up, and Jack moves away. Tori is played by Alex Steele, who is related to Cassie Steele, or Manny. But Alex Steele also played Angela, aka Craig's little sister, and Joey's daughter. If you're someone who's already aware of this fact, you're probably tired of hearing people talking about how she should have just been Angela the whole time, she should have never been Tori.
That's too damn bad!
I'm not gonna talk about this long, I swear. But seriously, why could she not have just come back as Angela? I've seen some people say it's because Joey couldn't come back into the show because of reasons, and Craig wasn't gonna return. If that's the main reason, I'm utterly confused. It's not like Tori's parents were ever shown anyway, and that's just off the top of my head. I'm sure maybe they were there once or twice, but point is they weren't memorable. And this show could have definitely utilized some ties to the original cast because at this point, all we had was Mr. Simpson. Anyways, Tori shows up in the second half of season 11, previously had a relationship with Zig that ended bad, but now they're dating again. Tori and Zig's relationship is basically just a setup for future things for Zig. Tori is also a good friend to Tristan, and I guess Maya, but she really shouldn't be. She tries helping Maya feel more
Sexy!
They join a beauty pageant together, but things get scandalous. Maya and Zig are flirting behind Tori's back, and whenever Zig and Tori kiss, Maya looks disgusted. Maya asks Zig if he can help her practice for the later rounds of the pageant, and they also continue flirting.
You want me to play with you, then we better rehearse.
Right. Well, it's a date.
Oh, you know what you're doing. This storyline ends with Maya and Zig making out.
Wow, that's messed up.
Tori helps Tristan lose weight, but he takes it way too far.
You can always be thinner. Look better.
Getting back to the love triangle, Zig doesn't really like Tori anymore, but too bad because Cam and Maya are dating. Tori and Maya are able to get past this a little bit later on, and even Zig apologizes to her, and I believe Tori moves to America after this because we never see her again. Cam transfers into Degrassi in season 12. Even though Cam is on the hockey team and really good, the rest of the team usually makes jokes at his expense. He gets peer pressured into flirting with Bianca. The next day she finds him in the girls' bathroom. At first she's gonna call Mr. Simpson, but then she realizes he's really sad and comforts him in the best way Bianca can.
High school sucks. Spend time here with people who don't.
Cam does find someone nice at Degrassi, Maya, but due to hockey practice, it's hard for him to make time for her after school. One of the first times he does ditch practice for her, someone records him singing on stage and he gets chewed out by Dallas. He gets punished for bailing on the team, but things are looking up since he just won the game. Until he gets all the media press asking him questions. Now he wants to go home, but Maya told him not to quit, so he doesn't. However, Cam clearly isn't trying to play anymore and jumps off the ledge of the stairs, breaking his arm in the process. Maya and Cam are in a weird place right now. Cam likes Maya, but he's always busy, and Maya doesn't feel like he's giving her enough attention.
We've been dating for like a month, and we've only kissed 6 times.
Maya joins this pageant, kinda to get his attention, but also to boost her own self-confidence.
Why exactly do you look like this?
Maya breaks up with him after this because she feels unloved. She kisses Zig. Maya feels guilty, so she goes to Cam's house and they get back together. But now Zig is infatuated with Maya, even though he's dating Tori and Maya's dating Cam. So Zig has been pressing Maya about the kiss, so she tells Cam.
I kissed Zig.
Cam forgives her soon after.
I'm not gonna let you get away that easy.
So it's Spirit Week and everyone has a color team. Cam's on the red team and Maya's on the green team, with Zig. Cam gets in trouble and now a lot of peeps are mad at him. Zig because Cam gave him a black eye. Dallas because he thinks Cam is too focused on Maya instead of hockey. And even Maya gets mad at him. Cam is really only concerned with getting back on Maya's good side, so he apologizes and Cam sleeps over with Katie's supervision. This is probably the happiest Cam has seemed in the entire show to this point, but Zig is still upset.
You're a psycho. And if you cared about her at all, then you'd get out of her life now.
Cam kind of breaks up with Maya through text, and afterwards he commits suicide in the garden. I think Cam's entire arc is written very well. He's a tragic character, and he will never be forgotten. A lot of Damon's character arc happens off screen. When he's first shown, him and Zig are best friends. We don't see much of them together, but enough to know that they're close. In Season 12, Damon is shown frequently, but in Season 13, he's never around. And then in Season 14, he comes back randomly and stabs Tiny. There was some gang war stuff going on, but this was out of nowhere. Don't really understand what they were trying to do with this character, but he kind of feels like a plot device. Winston is a really good friend to Miles, like an actual good friend, even though he's trying to get with his little sister.
So I didn't dream that. I actually kissed my best friend's kid sister.
Kid sister? What? They date shortly after this. By the way, their relationship name is Frankston. I'm sure you're glad I gave you that information. Frankston should work in theory. Frankie is sweet and Winston is, he likes attention. I only say this because once Lola gives him the slightest bit of attention, he kisses her.
Oh my God, what did I do?
You kissed me!
Well, because you said I wasn't a loser.
You're right, Winston. I guess it was her fault. He has this play because a lot of people in Degrassi are in plays. He has his play and Lola is in it. Coincidentally, he has to kiss Lola in the play. Winston tells Frankie he wants her to be in the play instead of Lola because he doesn't want to kiss anyone else. Or because he's guilty. So Winston thinks he's in the clear, and he kind of was for a few episodes. Even I forgot he kissed Lola. But Winston's luck is running out because Lola feels bad and she tells Frankie that her and Winston kissed.
I kissed Winston, or he kissed me. I'm a little hazy. It all happened so fast. You kissed Lola?
Winston was sort of a main character, but in Next Class, he's not really. Him and Zoe have a relationship but break up right after. Then he has a strong friendship with Goldi that eventually turns into a relationship later on. Winston does have other moments, but they're usually in service of other plots. Grace is in the rubber room a lot. The rubber room is a remedial class for the bad students at Degrassi. That's where she gets cool with Maya, Zig, and Tiny. Other than some club stuff and that time she helped Becky find out who recorded that video, Grace's storylines at the beginning were just helping out her friends because they had hella drama. Grace is also subtly one of the funnier characters in the whole show.
At lunch.
What's up, Zoe?
Grace and Zoe work together for this science thingy. They aren't really friends. They interact a little bit for Degrassi Nudes, but nah. Anyways, Zoe gets an A, she's all happy now. Her and Grace start hanging out some more. Miles gives Zoe the idea that Grace might like her.
School starts in a week. Let's talk then.
One day, her and Zoe are talking about the future and Grace gets upset and starts ignoring Zoe. Turns out, Grace has a rare condition called cystic fibrosis. When Zoe tries being positive, Grace gets more upset because she hates that fake positive shit.
Shut up!
So, update. Even though Zoe and Grace kiss, they're still just friends. Zoe wants to take it further, and at first, Grace tries to like Zoe. However, she realizes that she's straight and she doesn't like girls. Also, she has a crush on Zig. Zoe gets mad and records her and Zig making out because she's hurting emotionally.
Today is one of the worst days that I've had in a long time.
Grace gets told by a couple of classmates that her overall look is boy repellent, convincing her to change her appearance.
Hold on. Did you have a mental breakdown or something?
Grace remains crusting over Zig until she kisses him when they're having a moment. Then Grace is drunk and starts yelling at Maya, and right after that she passes out. No one knows what to do, except Zoe because she's the only one who's aware of Grace's condition. Grace and Jonah hang out a lot, but Jonah's still dating Frankie. But Jonah and Frankie break up, so now him and Grace are kissing and giving each other hickeys. But shh, it's a secret. Grace is fine sneaking around, but she hears that Frankie wants to get back with Jonah, so she confronts him.
So how long are we gonna sneak around? Another month? Prom? Until I die?
Jonah asks her out publicly, so now they're officially dating. Overall, I'd say Grace is a pretty good character. Goldi is first shown as a presidential candidate along with Tristan and Miles while they're beefing. Goldi is an activist for feminism. Not that there aren't any other feminists on the show, but she's representing. Goldi is the only one in his graduating class who was introduced in next class, so her early stories are just her being around. Goldi is also Muslim, and she's very strict in following her beliefs.
Don't leave me hanging.
I can't touch boys. It's against my beliefs.
Rasha doesn't really agree with all the religious beliefs. Her and Rasha continue having differences, so they have a mini argument. Baz suggests that she take off her hijab, so she does, but then she feels uncomfortable, so she puts it back on. Winston and Goldi go on a date, but on her walk home, she gets harassed by some jerks.
Are you on their side?
What? Who?
The guys who blew up Brussels.
Of course not.
Then take that thing off. We're just trying to get home. So were all those people in Belgium.
Those men are murderers, not Muslims.
After this, Goldi starts a group at Degrassi for other Muslim students so they feel safe.
I'm gonna spend my time creating a Muslim Students Association.
Technically, her and Winston are dating at the end of the show, so yeah, happy ending. First introduced in season 13, Tiny is primarily in the rubber room with the other remedial kids. Other than that, we learn that Tiny is in a gang. He has a strong friendship with Maya, Grace, and Zig. Tiny and Zig make a bet to see which one of them could get a cheerleader's number first. One day after school, that little bitch Damon starts harassing Zoe, and Tiny tries to defend her.
Guys, stop! Oh, God.
Tiny is fine, but he's in the hospital for a little bit. Tiny's older brother is Vince.
Run, bitch! Run!
Vince is much more chill in season 14. We get to see him taking care of Tiny and Zig too, kind of. But Vince shoots Damon in the leg to get revenge for Damon stabbing Tiny. After much consideration, Zig tells the cops what happened and Vince is arrested again. However, Tiny is pissed because his dad is in prison, his mom is a crackhead, and now his only family has been arrested again. So he threatens to stab Zig and Maya. He ends up not doing it and they remain friends. At the start of next class, Tiny and Lola start dating. Shay has a crush on him and I guess he might like her. I guess we'll see soon. So Lola has this app on her phone, basically Tinder, and Tiny asks her to delete the app because they're in an exclusive relationship. Lola doesn't want to, they break up. They get right back together, but then some light-skinned guy brings pizza to Lola and him and Tiny get into a fight. I don't know. So now Tiny is suspended. Lola tries helping out by making a protest against Degrassi for being racist.
It turns out that sometimes at school, you might be treated differently because you're black.
Damn, Lola, you think Tiny knows this? They break up, not because of the racist stuff, but because Tiny has feelings for Shay. Tiny and Shay have a nice relationship, even though they have completely different ideologies. But I'll save that for the next video.
Whatever I said, whatever I did, I didn't mean it.
Within his first 5 episodes in Degrassi, he's already got Maya, Tristan, and Zoe drooling over him. Him and Zoe date, but then they break up because he sees how rude she is. Now it's open season for Miles.
Trust me, none of these girls are worth knowing.
I don't know. There might be 1 or 2 worth checking out.
Miles plays basketball, but is disappointed because he's on the bench. So he could go to the gym every day and practice on his game. Or, you know, just take steroids.
Give me the damn veggies.
Literally in the next episode, Miles gets bumped up to the starting lineup. It actually turns out that the steroids that Tristan gave Miles were fakes.
Fairy dust. It doesn't exist.
Miles gets mad at Tristan, but understands that Tristan was just trying to help him out. A rumor starts to spread around school that Maya is a slut.
How dare you? She's a nice lady.
Miles helps Maya get through the situation, and later at night he goes to her house and they kiss for the first time. And now they're a couple, I think. Maya gets sent to the rubber room because she's been acting up in class. Also in the rubber room is Zig.
Wait, I'm sorry, who's Zig?
Nobody's.
Those are different things.
Miles and Maya go skinny dipping, but then his dad shows up. How awkward. It doesn't help that Miles' dad is extremely disappointed in Miles. Mr. Hollingsworth is currently running for mayor and needs all the good press he can get, but Miles keeps bringing problems around. One day, Miles is looking around the corner and finds his dad cheating. So at this
practice
press meeting, Miles is like,
Cheers! The motherfucking tea.
Honestly, I think the most crucial thing he's taught me is how to juggle.
Oh, shit.
Tasks, priorities, affairs.
Not only does Miles do this, but he also tells his mom.
He's cheating on you with Andrea.
It's not your problem.
You know?
He's not mad at his mom, but he's fucking confused and frustrated with his parents. So naturally, he throws a huge party when they specifically ask him not to. Maya tries telling Miles that this is a stupid idea.
Can't you just call this off before your whole house gets trashed?
You don't understand anything.
Nothing!
Miles almost cheats on Maya, but Winston stops him. Maya finds out Zig is homeless, so she offers to have him stay at her house. Miles doesn't like or trust Zig, so he goes full Peter and tells someone that Zig has drugs in his locker. Never go full Peter.
I can't believe you do something so spiteful just because what, you were jealous?
They are through. But Miles starts sending Maya gifts because he's sorry. Maya accepts his apology, but she's like, we can't be openly dating though. But because Zig is unaware of the current situation between Maya and Miles, he asks Maya if she wants to go out while Miles is lurking in the background. Maya is leaving her options open, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. Walk away. Go back to my sloppy seconds.
They start fighting, Zig kicks his ass, and then Miles goes and gets a prop gun. Then Maya sees and officially they break up. Maya and Miles get cool again momentarily, but during Zoe's trial, it's revealed that Miles and Zoe kissed while he was still dating Maya.
You have fucked up now.
And then there's Tristan. He and Miles make a plan to chill, you know, hang out. Miles says something really mean to Tristan, so he runs outside, Miles follows him, and then they start kissing. But Winston has had enough of Miles' bullshit.
Figure out what you want before you hurt someone else you care about.
Miles and Tristan leave things open-ended.
It was weird. Gotcha.
I haven't talked about Miles' dad too much recently, but things are still not well.
Enough. You were dating girls a few weeks ago, you're kissing boys now. It's not right.
Hey, honey.
No, seriously, well, it isn't.
Because Miles' home life is uncomfortable right now, he starts doing drugs. His friends and family have an intervention for him. Miles also starts developing feelings for Maya again, and Tristan starts to notice, so they end things. Side note, Miles treats Tristan really bad.
You can't keep getting away with it.
Miles is complaining about his dad, but this time his siblings actually side with him. The Hollingsworth family could low-key have their own spin-off series because there's a lot of drama in that house. Miles also almost burns down Degrassi by accident. Zig and Miles still don't like each other, but after another fight happens between them, they finally bury the hatchet.
So we're cool?
Well, I don't think we'll be getting lunch anytime soon, but yeah, we're cool.
Hey, look at us.
Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought?
Not me.
Miles is in next class, still trying to manipulate Tristan, but this time Tristan declines. Miles is still beefing with his dad. Get over it, buddy. Then he starts hanging with Esme, and literally one episode in and she's already giving him happy pills. And Miles is very happy.
Now I'm always smiling.
Until he starts experiencing withdrawal. He still takes the pills after this. Then he passes out, goes to the doctor, and maybe it's time to stop chilling with Esme. Remember when Miles was the biggest Hollingsworth disappointment?
Petridge Farm remembers.
Well, now Hunter is, but we'll talk about that another time. Oh, Tristan and Miles are kind of together again, but I've lost interest. Tristan gets really hurt after being in a bus crash, so now he's in the hospital and Miles is super concerned.
June 5th, I watched the doctors carve a hole into my boyfriend's skull.
All Miles gets for this is detention. In detention, he's looking at a picture of him and Tristan. Who was I thinking about again?
Are you sure you want this?
Player Miles strikes again. Miles feels guilty, as he should. He kind of blows Lola off after this, but unfortunately, it's not going to be that easy. So, this next plot is stupid. Miles starts this play that he titles Hope. In the play, the main character Miles is cheating with a girl named Hope, played by Lola. Oh, also in the play, Miles' boyfriend is in the hospital and in a coma. So basically, Miles is telling Tristan that he cheated on him.
You're a real dumbass.
Later on, Miles and Tristan break up. Miles decides he wants to go to London for school, and Mr. Hollingsworth finally says the thing that Miles has been waiting for.
I'm proud of you.
I'm the monster underneath your bed.
Tori and Zig used to date in middle school, so they start going out again. Tristan is jealous of Zig because he's stealing his Tori time.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
Zig and Tori have a pretty forgettable relationship. Like, it's known because it's their introduction into the show, but they don't really do anything memorable other than that Dine and Dash episode. Also, their chemistry together always felt off. It kind of just feels like this relationship was just a setup for Maya and Zig. Speaking of Maya, she's preparing for this pageant, and during that, Zig and her are talking a lot. Not really flirting, but something's there.
Oh, is that so?
After that, they kiss, and you'd think Zig would probably feel bad for cheating.
This isn't a joke. Okay, I'm with Cam. Tori is my best friend.
And I'm the big bad wolf.
You don't have to be.
A fight breaks out between Cam and Zig. After this, we know what happens to Cam. And Zig is feeling pretty guilty after. He does some questionable things after this, like getting mad in class and dumping trash on a teacher's car. But eventually, he acknowledges that he was being a major asshole for a lot of the season, and he apologizes to Tori, Maya, and I guess Tristan. Maya is still shaken up by the Cam stuff too, but her and Zig both openly say they like each other, and season 12 ends like this. However, next season, Maya's being flirty with Miles in front of Zig, and he's confused.
I told her I'd wait until she's ready. Guess now she's ready for this idiot.
Zig is being a little passive-aggressive now. Maya and him have a flare-up in class, and then he tells Maya that he hates her. A lot must have happened between season 12 and season 13 because now Zig is homeless and actively selling drugs. Maya finds out about Zig's situation and offers him a place to stay. With their past, it's awkward, but mostly because Miles and Maya are currently dating. Zig kinda eggs Miles on by being a dick, and then Miles snitches on him. Then Zig basically tells Maya he wants to get back with her by getting all up in her face. Hopefully he has some Tic Tacs beforehand. So Maya is conflicted. On top of that mess going on with them, Maya finds drugs in Zig's bag and flushes them down the toilet.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
So now Zig is a few $100s in debt and is in trouble with Vince. Maya pays off his debt and she begs Zig to stay at her house. Luckily, Zig is no longer selling drugs. Psych!
No one gets out that easy.
Zig sells drugs to Zoe, but then he feels bad because he's afraid she might overdose. Also, he has a crush on her. Zig likes Zoe, but he's unsure if he should be extra flirty with her because of what happened to her last semester. She gets mad at him because she feels like he's treating her like a victim. I do really like this scene when Zig calls out this cheerleader for talking shit about Zoe.
What, Zoe?
Yeah, that girl from that teen show who was all over the news for those drunken videos.
Hey, she was assaulted. You don't know what she's been through.
Zoe and Zig have another chance to make things work, but Zoe is feeling mighty guilty about something else that's going on, so she tells him to stay away from her because she's a bad person. A little after this, Zig's former friend Damon stabs Tiny, Zig's current best friend. This starts a whole mini-war with Zig and Damon. Maya and Zig actually get together, but now Zig has to move out, understandably. The bad thing is, now he's got to move in with Tiny, meaning Vince. Vince actually treats Zig pretty well, but you know, he's Vince.
This is some premium Molly. You better get to work.
Zig invites Maya over, but then Vince throws a party. Vince offers them some Molly.
Pop the Molly, I'm sweating.
Maya takes it without hesitation. Zig and Maya are high and talk about having sex, so they do. The next day, things get weird, but later on they rekindle things over the phone. At the same time, Zig drove Vince somewhere and a gunshot goes off. Turns out Vince shot Damon because Damon stabbed Tiny. Zig turns Vince in and hopefully we never have to see him again. When Maya is busy with her music and with Jonah, Zig gets jealous. Zoe starts flirting with him and they start hooking up. Meanwhile, Maya is doing nothing. But now she's getting harassed online by an anonymous person revealed to be Hunter. When Zig finds out, he kicks Hunter's ass. Oh, by the way, Hunter also has the video of Zoe and Zig making out. Zig actually tells Maya himself, and they are over! Then Esme and him start dancing together. Zig's friends start telling him that Esme is crazy, she's damaged, and she's probably got STIs. Esme and Zig continue dating, but there's some roadblocks in the way, mostly Maya. There's also Frankie.
Having fun without me?
Well, Frankie has been hanging out with Esme and Zig for a little while, and they've been handsy with each other. Zig breaks up with Esme after she's bugging out in the woods.
I'm sorry, but I'm done.
To be honest, Maya and Zig are endgame, so I don't really care that him and Esme don't work out.
Bonjour, bitches.
In the Degrassi verse, there's a show called West Drive, and Zoe is one of the main characters.
Oh, she's amazeballs.
She invites Tristan to this concert tonight, and then Maya invites herself.
I have free tickets to the Summerfest concert tonight. Wanna go?
Sounds awesome.
I'm not talking to you, bitch!
They basically end up ditching Maya anyways. While Maya and Zoe are one-upping each other, Maya tells everyone that Zoe's getting kicked off her show.
They're killing off her character. It is true. Katie read it on that blog.
Zoe dates Miles within her first few episodes. Zoe didn't like Maya before, but now that she's with Miles, she hates Maya even more. Miles breaks up with Zoe right after this.
You're something else.
On her first official day at Degrassi, she's already beefing with Mr. Perino.
I see you've got first day jitters. I need to start this class, so just get over whatever boy drama this is, take a deep breath, chill out.
Why don't you chill out?
Why is this guy still working here? In that same episode, she had a little run-in with Drew, and at night he calls her during his insomnia plot, thinking that she's Bianca. Drew promises to take her to the dance, but he doesn't remember. They do go to the dance, but it's really bad. At the dance, Zoe and Maya become friends.
We're friends now.
But low-key, Zoe still doesn't like Maya. Zoe makes this page about Maya, calling her some mean names.
I thought we were friends, Zoe.
Got your hopes up just a little bit, didn't I?
Maya is gonna get the police involved, but she doesn't. Drew and Zoe are actually flirting this time, but Drew doesn't really want to date her. He does end up dating her for like 5 seconds.
We had sex.
I know.
I thought you liked me.
Drew taking Zoe's virginity and then dumping her right after really messes her up, so she gets really drunk at this party. Trigger warning, this next storyline is very dark. Zoe blacks out at the party and doesn't remember anything. The next time she's at school, this video is going around.
Your exam showed signs of trauma to the vaginal area.
I was raped?
The sexual assaulter was unknown until Becky discovers that it was her own brother, who I will refer to as Piece of Shit. Piece of Shit tries to tell Zoe to forget everything.
You just put it behind us, pretend that it never happened. Look, no one's gonna believe you anyways. I'm a good Christian guy.
Zoe contemplates what she wants to do next, but when she sees Piece of Shit trying to mac with another girl, she calls him out in front of everybody. He gets arrested and eventually convicted. Zoe is still acting, but she doesn't really want to do it anymore. She tells her mom. Her mom was kind of mad, but then she's okay with it. Let's talk about that Degrassi nudes thing. Zoe suggests that her and a bunch of high schoolers sell nudes for money. But hey, at least it's anonymous. Some people are against the plan, mostly Frankie. Ultimately, the plan doesn't work because it's illegal. Zoe really likes Grace, but gets rejected, and then she does some spiteful shit. Her and Grace do become close again after Zoe saves Grace when she passes out after drinking. Zoe dates Winston because she wants to be the best version of herself, but she doesn't really like him. Zoe starts self-mutilating herself until she finally tells Winston that she's gay, which we as the viewer already knew 2 seasons ago. Zoe dates Rasha, but her mom is completely ignoring the fact that her daughter is a lesbian.
That is such bullshit!
So Zoe brings Rasha to her mom's wedding, and things do not go well. Zoe's mom disowns her, and then Zoe moves in with Grace, but she's still dating Rasha. In season 11, Tristan is mostly just Tori's friend. He does have that awkward blind date with Adam, and even though I don't love Owen's character, Owen does have a few great moments where he's giving Tristan some good advice. In class, Tristan's got the hots for the new kid Cam. The next day, Cam adds Maya on face reins, and Tristan gets a little upset about it. When Maya walks away, she leaves her account open, and then Tristan starts messaging Cam.
Maya, you forgot to log out of your face range.
Cam gets mad at Tristan, obviously, but it doesn't matter because Eli has chosen Tristan to play Jules in the school play. So yeah, Tristan's just practicing for the play a lot in the first half of this season. Now it's the episode of the play, and Tristan is about to share his first kiss ever on stage with Dave. So now Tristan is on a mission, that kind of rhymes, to find his first kiss. He has the moment with this guy Fab, they touch hands, but they don't kiss. Hours before the play, Tristan is missing because he's sad. Everyone's looking for him, and when they finally find him, Tristan is still sad, but then Tori kisses him. So Tristan is in yoga class, and that Fab guy from before tells Tristan something to help better his form.
Fab pretty much told me I was fat during our yoga sesh.
That jerk.
Tristan is now in cut weight mode and starts a new diet that's definitely not healthy. When Zoe first comes to Degrassi, he's starstruck until he eventually realizes that she's a little mean. Tristan likes Miles, but because Miles is back and forth with Maya, he has to sit on the sidelines for now. Tristan gets upset because he gets casted as the funny character instead of a serious one. Unfortunately, we got another teacher-student relationship going on. This new teacher, Mr. Yates, comes in and Tristan starts developing some feelings.
It'll be our little secret.
Zoe actually gives Tristan some good advice.
Run as fast as you can. This dude sounds like trouble.
But come on, who listens to logic? Tristan tries to keep it a secret, but Maya finds out and tells Mr. Simpson.
How could you do this to me?
Was Maya right to tell Mr. Simpson, or should she have kept her mouth shut? Let me know in the comments. Then he and Miles are having a bro date. Tristan and Miles make it official next season, but because Miles is spiraling at the moment, he's being pretty shitty. Adding on to that, Miles begins liking Maya again, so Tristan has had enough.
You use and abuse people, and one day you're gonna wake up and realize you have nobody. And I am so happy that I won't be there for that sad, sad day.
And no, I won't talk about the last episodes of season 14 because I hate them. Tristan dates VJ for like an episode. I would talk about the chlamydia plot, but it doesn't make Tristan look like too good of a person. Also, he doesn't have it, so never mind. Tristan and Miles date again, and he gets mad because Miles previously had sex with 5 other girls. So they fight, they talk, and have sex. That bush crash happens at the end of season 2 of Next Class, and Tristan is the only one of the main cast who we care about that gets severely injured. So season 3, Tristan is mostly in a coma. Tristan is progressively getting better. However, he and Miles break up because Tristan is pushing himself too hard to be normal again. For prom, Miles goes to the hospital to share one last dance with Tristan.
Well, isn't that special?
Maya is the younger sister of Katie, and I gotta say, even though I don't really like Katie that much, I think they have the best sibling relationship in Degrassi. In her first episode, she runs into Zig, and he asks Maya to pretend to be his girlfriend. Then right after that, in band, she's talking to Tori and Tristan.
Zig Novak is not a friend.
He's a jerk who uses girls then breaks their hearts.
At first, Maya's gonna be a good friend to Tori, but then Katie's like, fuck her. They both get in trouble and make up. Now Tori's dating Zig, and Maya has no one. So everybody wins? Maya is also a really talented musician.
Music is everything to me.
She wants to be a part of this new band Whisper Hug, but they're looking for someone a little bit more mature. So Maya gets these fake breast implants before her audition.
It was at this moment that she knew. She fucked up.
Even though that happened and was extremely embarrassing, Maya did well on her audition, so she's in the band.
Success!
This new guy Cam is at school, and he and Maya like each other. Look, I don't want to depress you guys again, so Maya and Cam date, they're happy, but Maya wants Cam to be more affectionate. They break up, she kisses Zig, she tells Zig not to tell, but then Tori finds out, so her and Tori aren't friends. Cam also finds out, but forgives Maya. Zig still likes Maya, so he hates Cam, and then Zig is very mean to Cam. And not too long after this, Cam commits suicide, not just because of Zig, but Zig did talk to him last. Maya is thinking her relationship is stronger than ever, but Cam texts her telling her that they shouldn't be together. She goes to school the next day and gets called to the principal's office.
Campbell Saunders is dead.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Maya's reaction to this is Interesting. Everyone around her is trying to comfort her, but she's not really receptive to it.
You want to be friends all of a sudden? I know you don't mean that. You're in shock. Don't tell me what I am. And don't be nice to me just because Cam's dead.
Even Zig is confused.
How are you laughing right now?
Maya then proceeds to go off during Cam's candlelight service.
Cam doesn't deserve a candlelight vigil. He made a choice.
She's dealing with a lot right now, guys. Maya apologizes to Tori for acting pretty mean, and now they're friends again. However, Maya is trying out new things. She starts wearing heels to school, gets drunk at a party, and posts a video of herself making out with this Corbin Blue lookalike.
You can't replace Cam.
Why not? He broke up with me by killing himself. I hate him. I hate him.
After holding in all that anger and sadness, Maya finally admits to herself that she needs to relax. We've talked a lot about the constant love triangles, and Maya has been involved in a lot of them. So let's sum it up real quick. Maya likes Miles, but Miles is dating Zoe. Zoe and Miles break up, so Maya and Miles should date with no problem, right? Zig still has feelings for Maya after she kind of left him on the hook last season. Then we have the whole Zoe beef, but I kind of talked about that already. But yeah, she fights Zoe, so she gets transferred to the remedial class with all the other dropouts. She tries fitting in.
Nice nose ring.
Her and Zig are not friendly right now for a lot of reasons, but when she finds out Zig is homeless, she asks him to move in because she feels bad. This is a common theme for Maya. She always tries to go the extra mile to help people out. She also does it later for Miles when he's in crisis mode, and you can trace a lot of it back to her trauma with Cam. When I realize little continuity details like this, it makes me like Maya's character even more. Her and Miles are still dating, but they break up, first because he's fighting with Zig, but then again because she found out that he hooked up with Zoe. There's a big thunderstorm, and Maya gets trapped inside with Zig and Zoe, because Zig says he'll go to the dance with both of them.
My recommendation? Peach schnapps, the ultimate social lubricant.
Peach schnapps. Is it good?
No.
So they get drunk. Well, mostly Maya gets drunk.
Never have I ever.
Cyberbullied someone by putting big naked pictures of her all over the internet? If it wasn't for her, I'd still be with Miles right now.
Can we talk about this later?
No, I want to talk about it now. You've been such a bitch to me, Zoe.
A lot more stuff happens, but they become friends by the end of the episode.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again.
Maya is stressing out, but I already mentioned it. It has a lot to do with PTSD. And yeah, she starts dating Zig. The Maya babysitter plot at the end of season 14 is stupid. In next class, Maya is playing music with Jonah, and Zig does not like it. He gets all jealous and makes out with Zoe. Maya finds out about Zig and Zoe.
You scoundrel.
Maya begins working on her music with Peter. You guys remember Peter, right? I think Maya likes Peter, but I'm not entirely sure. Maya was on that bus that crashed and she survives, but now she's...
boring.
Yeah, this is literally her the whole season.
Hi, how are you?
She deals with a lot of inner conflict, like purposely trying to drown herself and having someone take dead-looking pictures of her on a bus. Katie comes home to check on Maya because she cares about her sister, unlike Darcy. After a nice night with her fam, Maya tries getting back to normal, but when she sees Tristan for the first time, she gets triggered all over again. She goes on the roof of the school and overdoses on these pills. Luckily, Esme and Zig are there to find her. Maya is back and still talking like this.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I don't know, I'm good.
She finally starts acting like Maya again after getting a pep talk from Tristan. This is the first time in a while that Maya finally starts working on her music again. She gets offered by Craig to join his band in the future after Craig hears her performing one of her songs. On a camping trip, she finally gets to talk to Zig one-on-one for the first time after her overdose.
Why would you do that to yourself?
They end up going to prom and living happily ever after.
That's all, folks.
My favorite from this class has to be a toss-up between Maya and Zig. I actually like Maya's story and development more than Zig's, but in season 3 and 4 of Next Class, her character is unwatchable. I know she was dealing with a lot, but it wasn't entertaining to sit through. So yeah, I think it might be Zig. I really enjoyed his character mostly all the time. Who was your favorite from this class? There are actually an abundance of great characters from this class, and I honestly can't say that about most of the graduating classes in this show. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, then subscribe to my channel.
Come on!
Like this video, and check out some of my other content right here.
Thanks anyway.
Well, hey, you want to catch a flick sometime?
Do you ask out every girl who talks to you?
Victory through sheer volume.